Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you back to the Dynamic Decisions podcast, where we explore the successful strategies that drive successful decision making in the world of business. Why? Because the best decisions come from great conversations. I'm your host, Tisha Cable, CEO of C Model Data, and today we have an exceptional guest who is revolutionizing customer communication for small and medium-sized businesses. His name is Lucas. He is the CEO of Signpost. He's got over 20 years experience in the information technology and services industry. He's built Signpost into a leading live receptionist and customer communication platform that serves thousands of local businesses. Lucas, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Would you tell us more about you, more about Signpost? Give us the scoop.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Number one, I'm very excited to be here and engage in the conversation. A little bit about me. I am a human who is maniacally focused on empowering other individuals. So it started, I was a Division One athlete. I enjoy team sports. I enjoy the power of putting a group of humans together and accomplishing something. And it's really played well for me in business because the path that I've taken is an underserved market. I dipped my toes in the enterprise world and the bigger software world, and it wasn't as fulfilling to me. Where I look at 99% of our world here in the US is a small to medium business of some sort of size. And so when I look at that, they're underserved. They're a market, both sides of my family, immigrants, both sides of my family came to this country 3 generations ago and started businesses. And that was how they ended up making it to where the rest of us could get to college and educate ourselves and branch out and expand. And I look at that and think, man, it's just 20 years of my life of giving back and being able to truly empower those folks with great service, but also great tools that help them thrive the same way as many generations before us have thrived here as a small to medium business entrepreneur.
Love that. First of all, shout out to you. We also support small and medium-sized businesses on purpose because they are the backbone of economies all over the world. And so I'm really grateful to see that there are more people who are in the very specific hunt because their needs are also a little bit different than what it would be at the enterprise level. You've taken the helm at Signpost as it continues to establish itself as this market leader in this live receptionist services, specifically again for the SMB. You have an impressive track record, less than 1% customer churn that you've reported, 43% year-over-year growth. You're serving over 20,000 customers who see an average rating improvement of 34%. And as their revenue increases, I think you reported something like 14%. What do you believe is the most critical element for small and medium-sized businesses to see success, specifically in customer engagement today? And especially because they're competing against these larger companies with all the resources.
The most confusing thing for an entrepreneur today is that communication is omni-channel. There's no getting around it. And many times, communication via a prospect or a current customer comes in from omni-channel sources for one need. So being able to understand they come in from a web chat? Did they come in from a text message? Did they come in from some kind of a social media avenue? Did they come in and just give me a telephone call? Oh, by the way, guess what? They came in from 3, 4, 5, or 6 of those sources, and you've got to respond, right? I think what a lot of folks forget too is just because you gained a customer doesn't mean they stay a customer in today's age, right? So my family, I grew up in a retail business, in small Midwestern world. There wasn't a lot of competition because they trusted you. They knew that face. They knew that person. They knew they could walk in and say hello, and they were there. Now it is fundamentally different. The game is not the same. They are going to send it. I give this example all the time. I was just talking to a partner of ours. We went to this big meeting in Dallas and we're able to see all of their different entrepreneurs. And the analogy I was giving, I'm in Texas. It is hot in the summer. When my air conditioning goes out, I have a guy that I've used for the last 15 years. If he doesn't answer the phone or respond to my text message, I am calling another human to come fix my air conditioning. He is not my only choice. I will find someone by the end of the day to get that cool air blowing again. I am not going to sit here and sweat, right? So it's that is the world we live in. And honestly, I think the customers that we support, they have a very hard time keeping up with communication in general because they're also doing the work, they're
Mhm.
managing teams, they're trying to wear a bunch of different hats. They're receiving upwards of 30 calls from sales reps telling them everything from Centos mats to office solutions to payroll to health insurance to better provisions within whatever world they serve in the home service world. So it's just, I feel like if I was in, we specialize in home services, right? So if I was in the home services world, I would be frustrated and overwhelmed and I'd never answer my phone. I'd be like, you know what? I'm here to just do a job. I do not have time to do this.
One thing I'd love you to do is let's talk a little bit about communication in general. Like, go back in your mind a little bit. Tell me, how important is communication in general, let alone when you're trying to manage and run and grow a business?
It's really great that you asked that question because it goes from all levels. Our company internally, we've been around about 14 years and we've tried to touch 100 different avenues of success. Communication internally over the last 18 to 24 months has been that we are maniacally focused on communication and we're not going to do anything else. We're not selling websites, we're not selling leads, we're not a reviews platform, we are helping empower communication. That communication internally, being crystal clear with our mission, being crystal clear with our vision, then empowers every single action, whether it's from engineering to our frontline live receptionists. Everyone knows that that is the only thing we are doing because of that clear communication. I'm a very vocal human. I probably communicate way too much internally. They get very tired of seeing slacks in my opinion. Just but I need us to understand we're only doing one thing in a world of distraction. One thing. And we're just driving good, solid communication, actionable communication. So when you take that, like it's applicable in us, those who serve the SMBs, and then it trickles down to SMBs, it's literally the foundation of their business. A lot of folks, I'm very, very passionate about trade schools. I'm very, very passionate about the trades in general. I think we're under resourced. I think the focus for my generation, my grandfather used to say, you're going to earn a living with your brain, not your back, like me, right? And so then all of us went to college, and then we all pushed our children to go to college. And then we have a whole generation of folks who have degrees that don't really know what they're going to do for a living. And yet I can send, one of my children to a welding trade school and they can make, high six figures owning their own business in a trade, but we're not talking about it. So like, I guess where the road I'm going down is it's communication in life, communicating of where a valuable degree would be to work to go earn a living. Let's talk about earning a living. Let's just not talk about getting a degree. Let's talk about how we serve those in the SMB community when we are in business. Let's talk about if we are in SMB, how we communicate with our customers. It just that communication, I honestly think it goes across the entire world. It's poor communication causes so many problems in life just in general.
Yeah, I happen to agree with you, which is why I kind of wanted to dig in there. So I thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your response. So you kind of mentioned being eager when we talked earlier to discuss the shift in the startup funding environment. So from easy capital acquisition to more stringent bootstrap focused approaches, how has this changing funding landscape influence your strategic decisions? Are there any types of operational decisions that you've made that directly impact how small businesses, the ones you serve, can actually deliver their customer experiences and do it cost effectively?
So I'm going to give a an opinion that's probably contrary to common view. This is from
Yeah.
my 20 years of experience, and it's applicable to me. I've been in great organizations like Angie's List and Homebase and Main Street Hub. All of these companies focused on SMBs, and we did a phenomenal job doing it. And we raised hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. You go across all of that. I think we did things inefficiently. We didn't really focus on the customer and their needs because we had
Mhm.
so many resources. We were able to build massive engineering teams. We were able to put on massive marketing campaigns, massive sales campaigns. How it's changed for me is we are not in a favorable capital market. Signpost will not go out for another round of fundraising. What we have is what we have, period. The money in the bank is what we have to serve our customers with. Well, when you
Mhm.
do, you're much more responsible with your resources. You're much more responsible as you scale a sales team. Message has to be on point. You have to truly understand what resonates with the customer. You have to be more efficient with leads. You have to be more efficient with who you're calling. Marketing is not just a spray and pray approach. You have to understand what your customer wants. We're not in the Google paid ad games. We're not. We're in these social games. Most of our customers are on TikTok. Most of our
Mm.
customers are on YouTube. Most of our customers are on Facebook, right? Like we go where our customers are because we don't have the money to be everywhere. When we look at product, right, we don't have the resources to have a 50-person engineering team. I have five really strong engineers that are responsible for delivering best in class solutions. And so when we're delivering, we literally deliberate on a daily basis of what is the most important thing to our customers, and then that's what we're going to deliver. So I think the global landscape is constrictive and people start cutting back. And I actually think it's very freeing because now you are absolutely empowered just to go focus on your customer, not what your investors want you to spend all this money. Right? Like it just allows you to really dial in and know what your customers want. I'll give you a classic example with AI. If you read across LinkedIn, everybody from a VC world or they want you to be invested in AI, which I am a strong proponent and a user of AI. But guess what? Our customers don't want to adopt it 100%. They
Right.
want it to help them be more efficient. Our customers do not. They have a fear of it taking over their entire business. Small to medium business is very much B2C, not B2B. So if we take all of our resources and just dump it into AI, we're actually moving farther away from the position that our customers want us to be. So that I think it allows us to really tighten our focus. I feel like we deliver a product that's more customer centric. I feel like we deliver a service that's more customer focused. We're not looking at burning through employees. We've got to hire the right employees that can deliver the right service. So we have to be more in tune with our candidate profile. And I know I'm going down a massive list of different.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is exactly what we want.
Okay, good deal. It's just it causes you to really think through every single decision. Because in my world, all transparency, every dollar I have goes back into the customers. I'm not sitting on $50 million that I can just make bad mistakes about. I have also our internal team counting on us to make the right customer decisions as well because they need the security for their families. So you just look at it's just it I think it's actually more fun to me now than when the businesses that I've been in that talked about all the money that we needed to deploy and the capital that we had. This business, I'm talking about customers' concerns every single day, and it actually it's more fulfilling for me.
Yeah, which means that eventually you're talking about profit, which is the money you actually put in your pocket
Yeah,
versus investment dollars.
one one
Yeah.
hundred percent.
So you've got this really comprehensive approach. So and you've got a comprehensive approach to a lot of things. You're actually approaching the market with AI driven automation and your live receptionist services. You serve diverse industries from electricians to HVAC contractors. So you've got this experience. It spans category creation. You've got the SMB markets we keep talking about. I would love to know when you're trying to make high stakes decisions, specifically, let's talk about like platform features, for example. Do you have a framework for making those kinds of decisions, especially when you don't have all the information? And I want you to think about how do you make the decisions that might be about maintaining technological sophistication and personal touch, balancing innovation and unit economics.
Yeah, yeah, which is this is every day of our life. So yes, I'm going to give you a goofy answer, and I'm very serious about this goofy answer. Everything we do internally starts with our core values because our core values tend to keep us aligned in how we're looking at the world. So we have very, very simple process of saying, look, are we customer focused? Is this 100% customer facing, or is this a bit of ego that we want to develop something that makes us look cool? The second framework we look at is can we actually deliver it? And I think that's something that's often let out. You'll see all these product roadmaps and all this timelines and all that, and everybody in the whole group understands you're never going to get this deadline. So why are we talking about delivery? Nobody can get there. So now you've just wasted all these cycles on something you're not even going to deliver. It's just going to push all the time. So we look at real life. Are we going to deliver this? And I'll tell you what is the strongest piece of feedback for us. We look at churn. So every customer that's left us, we look at why they left us. And so I will tell you, one of our struggles is deliverability. Our customers pay us to answer 100% of their calls 100% of the time within a couple of seconds. They don't remember. Our live receptionists are not like if you call a bigger, maybe Visa or something, and they leave you on hold for 45 minutes and it's okay. Our customers, we are their face to their customers. No one is paying us to give somebody a 45-minute hold time, right? Like nobody's doing that. And in this world that we live in, we have a lot of remote workers. We also have a lot of in-office workers, but we have a balancing act to make sure that folks show up for shifts and that we're on time for our customer base, circling back to those core values of how we serve our customers. We need to show up. But the decisions we make, like we know that right now we have a struggle with deliverability. We have to answer 100% of the calls 100% of the time. Most of our technology then and our development resources are focused on empowering our live receptionists to be quicker, empowering our queue process and technology process to put top customers at the top of the bucket. We want to put people in correctly. Higher volume users need to be in this bucket. Lower volume users need to be in this bucket. Like we want to make sure we serve everybody accordingly. And so to your ask of like the framework always involves core values and how we serve our customers. And our biggest insight is where we've let our customers down. So past customers, unfortunately, we're not able to serve them any longer because we've let them down. But we try to learn from those experiences and then have better results for either new customers or existing customers as we push forward into the future.
So you always know when someone wants to win, when they can admit where they've made mistakes or where things haven't or aren't working currently so that they can get the right set of support and help to move forward. The other thing is I think people completely underestimate the importance of the core values in decision making. So if you're looking for a way to determine if it's a yes or a no, your core values, your core strategy in general, your vision, your mission. These things are your guides to yeses and nos. And your values are like who comes into your company. All the other things that can really impede your resources can be found in your values. But I think that people don't necessarily connect those dots. We always see the values in the presentation. And it sits in the deck and it stays there kind of
Yes,
thing. So
correct.
you've got some really impressive operational metrics. You got 24/7 availability. You've got these integrations with these CRMs like Service Titan and Jobber. Can you tell me what your key performance indicators are, the ones that you find to be the most telling when you're assessing success?
Yes. So one of our things, and these are going to seem like very simple metrics, but they're at the core. I always tell people we have a very simple business. It's just really, really hard to deliver best in class service. It's not a sexy business. It's not one of those things where I'm going to show you, like, I wish I could do a Tim Cook Apple day where everything's so neat and cool. Ours is fundamentally based on us just hitting the mark. So I look at the longest hold time of the month. And last month, our longest hold time was 9 minutes. So that means at our busiest time, with the highest volume of customers coming in, our customer's customer had to wait 9 minutes. I think that's unacceptable, but year over year, that's a
Mhm,
300% reduction in where we were a year ago. So that
mhm,
that to me is a key metric. At the worst
mhm.
of the worst, this is how long a customer had to hold. 9 minutes, I'm not happy with, but I'm ecstatic at the team's improvement year over year on that. When
Right.
I look at volume of calls, I look at our key SLA. We strive to hit 85% of our customers' calls are answered within 30 seconds. 85%, doesn't matter what time of day or night, 85% of the calls are answered within 30 seconds because we feel like most of our calls are transfers. Right? So it rings their phone first and then they forward to us.
Mhm.
30 seconds to me, that's good customer service, right? 30 seconds you answer the phone, your customer's happy. Most of our customers are calling because something needs to be done. This is a massive deal. Plumbing's out, whatever it is, they need a call. So when I look at those two metrics, and then I look at a net retention metric. So I want to know net units and net dollars. How are we stacking up month over month? I don't look at year over year very often. I look at month over month. We're very much in the hustle and the grind every day. So I want to know that every day, all of the little levers that we pulled are helping us add customers and add dollars because every
Mhm.
dollar we add can get put right back into better serving our customers. So you look at that piece. The one final core piece, our onboarding process. We realize that the biggest sticking point for us is we sell a customer, they are excited for the help that we're getting ready to provide. And guess what they do? They hang up that phone, they pay us, and they move on with servicing their customers. We can't get them back on the phone. We can't get them engaged. We can't get because they're running their business. They wanna get back on it. Yeah, they're running their business. I get it, right? So we've pushed a focus on first 30 days of onboarding. We send out webinars and videos, and we make sure that on every live call, we get them locked in for another call. Like, look, I'm going to call you in 48 hours at 10 a.m. I need you to be on the because I want to teach you how to forward your phone. I want to set up your scripting. We are very passionate that first 30 days. That metric has improved in the number of customers that we see. We are now less than 7 days to usage, which what that means, by the time a customer, boom, you get it. It's the value. They say yes, they pay, and within a week, they are using and we are answering their phones.
For our audience, I want you to think about your own experiences with customer communication and lead management. What decisions have you made about balancing technology investment with operational efficiency that have significantly impacted your business growth? Share your thoughts with us on LinkedIn and other social media using Dynamic Decisions Podcast. Okay, you are a CEO. You have extensive background, especially in go to market and I mean, you did this in a bunch of other companies other than just where you are right now. And you've led Signpost now through what you describe as a challenging turnaround. So you've mentioned that navigating the turnaround has really taught you that leadership isn't about having all the answers. Can you tell me the strategies that you employ to really build up a culture of quality and continuous improvement while you're building right now?
Yes, it is the core. This has been this way for my entire life. I believe I have a real connection to the SMB space. I have family connection. I myself was in the SMB world. This is all I've done my entire life. And I believe in who we serve. I fundamentally get up. This is probably one of the hardest roles I've ever had in my life, and I enjoy it more than any other role I've ever had because of that connection. So I'll give you an example. The world is full of tools, especially in the sales world. Sales and marketing is a strong focus of mine because that's kind of how I grew up in this business. And so we are constantly looking at maximizing our sales representatives. Let's get them out to as many of needy SMBs as we can efficiently. So very focused on process, very focused on messaging. I believe it's mission critical. And I hated this when I was a rep. It was the worst rep in the world for you to lead when you would say, go read this pitch. And I would be like, hey, I got my own words. I know how to do this myself. I've got this like,
Lord.
yes, I didn't want to read your pitch. I don't. And now I look at it over the years. I'm like, no, when we have a framework for messaging, keeps us delivering value for our customers. And
That's right.
also, you get funky in the head when you're a sales representative because you're dialing the phone 100 times a day to maybe talk to two people. And so I would take it to the playbook in sports. Every sports runs plays for a reason. They're not just, you don't snap a ball and say, okay, everybody go. You have a structure, you have a playbook. Then want to combine tools. I am a believer in tools. I get it. But I am not a believer in tools at all costs. And I'll give you a classic example. We have our pitch, we follow it, we follow our process. We added in what is called a power dialer. This helps us to be able to reach out to more customers. It fundamentally changed our follow up. It fundamentally changed the way we were communicating. It made us just chase customers instead of go through discovery and build value. We had to gut it out. We had to go back 2 months. We took a regression and said, okay, stop. We've gotten away from the process. We've gotten away from value. We're just trying to spray and pray. We're getting, salespeople now because I would do the same thing. I'd be like, look, I'm just going to get on here and I'm going to dial 500 people today and I'll find somebody who wants to say yes. Well, what we're missing is the 100 that we should have worked thoroughly because there is value there and we're skipping right over them because it wasn't easy. Right. And then what we do is not easy. It's value. So my framework is always if we get away from the process and I lose the messaging, I still listen to sales calls to this day. I listen and the messaging's not there and I feel people chasing and I feel then I know we're off process. I know we're not communicating value and I know ultimately our results are going to suffer. I can literally tell when a manager is no longer doing one-on-ones and no longer breaking down calls just by listening to the reps calls because you can hear the tone change. You can hear our empathy, right? I preach empathy. If you're not empathetic for our customer base, you're not doing them any good. You've got to be empathetic. And you can hear that in the call. So that's my framework for judging, like, does this technology help? Does it not? If technology comes in, I worked for a CEO that frustrated me constantly. He and I did not get along, and now I actually value some of the things that he had told me. He used to always say, anything you change always has some kind of an outcome. There's an impact, right? There's always is. And I'd be like, yeah,
An impact. Yeah.
always. And he would be real negative about it. I'm like, well, he's right. Like everything you change does impact the business some way in your ability to serve customers. And so my framework, it just sticks around that empathy. It sticks around that pitch and process. It sticks around, I've got to hear consistency in messaging. And when that starts to drift off, then I know that we've broken something somewhere and we need to get back to the root.
And then you're going to get funky in the head.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I love that.
That's my
Funky in the
statement.
head.
If I had that T-shirt, because I'm telling you, it happens, right? I'll make you laugh on this. I have a son who is a student athlete in college now, and over the summer he's working as an SDR, so he is just dialing the phone. And last week he was like, "Man, sales manager had to talk me off the ledge. I wanted to quit. This was I talked for 3 days. I haven't talked to anybody for three." And I'm like, "Right, you're funky in the head. This is a kid has no sales experience whatsoever, right? And he literally is used to next play mentality. He does this for a living in school." And that dialing the phone broke him in about 3 4 days. So it's you're funky in the head. You got to get out of it.
That's great. Okay, let's move into my favorite part here of this podcast, which is we're going to explore your decision-making style through a persona assessment. So I'm going to ask you 4 different questions that represent different decision-making approaches. And after each one, I'll ask you to tell me how much the way that I'm asking that question resonates with how you actually approach your decisions. And you'll do it on a scale of 0 to 100%. But here's the thing, over all 4 questions, you only get 100% total.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So I'll explain each one and then ask. So the first one is called a feeler. It's a values-driven leader. So this persona prioritizes alignment with core values and mission, often weighing the human impact and cultural fit of decisions alongside business metrics. When I'm facing a major platform or business decision, I ask myself, does this align with our mission to be the trusted advisor for small and medium-sized businesses, the one that they need to grow their customer base and provide exceptional service? Even if a more profitable feature that might favor larger enterprise clients or shorter-term gains comes along, I need to feel confident that we're genuinely enabling SMBs to compete effectively and that our solutions will make their teams more successful while maintaining the human touch that sets us apart from purely automated solutions.
I would say that's 100%. Yes, 100%.
Okay, you got 4 more.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So I see what you're saying. Okay. So I'm going to go 25%. I'll say that's
Okay.
a 25%.
Okay, so that is feeler. You're currently 25% feeler.
Okay.
Here's the next one. It's the planner, strategic visionary. So this persona focuses on long-term implications and future-proofing decisions, always thinking several moves ahead and considering multiple scenarios. When I'm making strategic decisions about Signpost platform evolution or market positioning, ask myself, what are the long-term implications of this choice for the SMB communication industry over the next 5 to 10 years? I need to map out how the shift from easy capital to bootstrap focused growth changes customer expectations, and AI adoption will evolve across different service industries, ensuring that our business model and capabilities position us for multiple possible futures in an increasingly competitive and capital constrained environment.
30%, because that's slightly more than the first way of looking at it. Yes. And I can give you
Okay.
reasons, but I'll just stop there. We'll go there. Yeah.
No, give me like 2 quick reasons.
The 2 quick reasons are, if you don't look at the longer term and you put yourself out of the market, you can't serve the customers you have because you become irrelevant, and then no one sees any value. So yes, you have to be customer centric, but you have to look at the longer play, because you have to make sure that what you're doing today doesn't put you behind and underserve your customers down
Ooh, that's good. That's good stuff right there. I'm glad I asked.
the road.
Okay. So here's your next one. It's called the counter. It's the challenger of assumptions. So this persona naturally questions conventional wisdom and looks for contrarian opportunities, often finding success by zigging when others zag. When evaluating new platform capabilities or market opportunities, I ask myself, what assumptions are we making about customer communication and SMB needs that might be fundamentally wrong? What is everyone else in the communication and customer service space doing that we should question? I particularly challenge industry assumptions about over-promoted executives and inflated valuations. Is there a more efficient, sustainable approach that focuses on real value creation rather than following conventional tech industry wisdom about growth at all costs?
5%. We're going to keep going up. That's more.
Okay.
Because I think we're in a world where people follow each other and you shouldn't follow because 90% of the people you're following don't have it right anyway.
Mm. So challenger of assumptions, that's good. And usually what I've heard from people too is that if it's not them, it's always someone on their team. So there is a member of the team that takes on that particular role, which would make it a healthy team. Okay,
Yep.
here's the last one. It's called the data driver. It's the evidence-based decision maker. So this persona relies heavily on metrics, analytics, and concrete evidence to validate decisions, preferring proof over intuition. Before making important decisions about platform development, market expansion, or strategic investments, I ask myself, what does our performance data actually tell us about the customer satisfaction scores, lead conversion rates, and proven unit economics across different SMB industries? I want to see concrete analytics on everything from our less than 1% customer churn rate and revenue impact metrics to operational efficiency and capital utilization that can validate or contradict our strategic instincts, especially in today's environment where investors demand proven business models over growth stories.
So how much of a percentage do I have left? I've given 35, 30, 25. Is that right? So I would say the rest of it is that. But I will tell you where I'm a pushback. I'm an 80% guy. So I do use data. I am data driven, but I will also tell you I would rather iterate. So I would take 80% for speed over 100% for accuracy
Mm, that's good.
because the world's changing, right? So if you're waiting for 100% in accuracy, it just doesn't get there. And I would also say this, I am a guy who will say, I can make the data tell you whatever you want it to tell you. Like data's good. You have to pay attention to the metrics of the data. But look at Signpost. We're probably 18 to 24 months into being solely focused on communication. A lot of our data is legacy data that was when we were a CRM, when we were an email marketing campaign, when we were a reviews platform. So you're taking data that may not necessarily apply and you're trying to be 100% on it. It's not relevant. Let's just get 80% of the way there. Let's go. And we have that core value focus. No one points a finger. No one says this is your fault. No one, that is our management structure. Look, no one's at
Mm.
fault, world. It's together we win, right? We all dive in together and we figure things out. So get to 80%. If somebody sees something going wrong, let's raise a hand and then we'll iterate and adjust. So I would say I'm less on that side just because I think the data can tell you a story sometimes. Data also gives you a false sense of security.
Sometimes it does. I agree with you. So I believe that it's all about the balance. So here you are. You are 25% feeler, 30% planner, 35% counter, and 10% data driver.
Yeah,
Boom.
probably
Good
me.
job. Listen, as we wrap up this conversation, I have one final question for you. So you guys you're passing through a critical growth phase. You've navigated through these challenges. If you could give one piece of advice to aspiring leaders in the SMB technology space, especially those that want to build a sustainable business in today's stringent funding climate, what would it be?
Know your customer. Know your customer. Candidly, we all think we do and you don't. Get in front of them, figure out a way to talk to the ones that have left you. I will give a particular shout out to a gentleman by the name of John Waldman, who is the founder and CEO of a company by the name of Homebase. And I literally think he might be the best human on the planet that I've watched truly be. His tag in Slack used to be CSM number one. So he was the customer success manager number one. And he built that business by listening to the customers. And it's one of the best businesses I've ever been a part of. And I will tell you, I try to emulate that a lot. I've got a long way to go. It's a long way for me to be in his world. But I think his push, he would be twisted if we didn't respond to a customer, if we didn't answer it. Like he took the customer just exceptionally serious. And that'd be the advice I would give. Just listen, pay attention and listen to the customer without bias, without your own opinions. I think we often justify mistakes. Oh no, but we didn't mean to. Just own it. Just look, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to hear where we screwed up. And I know I can't help you, but I'm trying to help the next person. Right. So like if you can help me get there, I'd be very grateful. And just know your customer. Know the customer.
Oh man, thank you, Lucas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for being on the show. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Thank you for your candid insights. I wholly appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure that our listeners will too. Can you share with our listeners where they can learn more about you and more about Signpost?
My team is pushing me to be exceptionally active on LinkedIn. So I am out of my comfort zone and trying to be active on LinkedIn. You can go to signpost.com, getting better day by day at putting our message on our website. So I would try either of those two places will get you close with us and allow you at least to be able to see what we're doing and how we're serving our customers.
Fantastic. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Remember, the best decisions come from great conversations. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate it, and share it with your network. Let's keep the conversation going on social media using Dynamic Decisions Podcast. And until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and keep leading with purpose.